So, it is the end of an era. Michael Thomas is officially a free agent. Now, he wasn't cut. He was truly on a one-year contract, so he wasn't released. It wasn't a cut. He is now just officially a free agent. Welcome to Saints Now by Chat Sports. My name is Trace Girouard. You see it down below. Mike Thomas is gone. Gonna miss you, 13. But let's talk about it. I understand that he ended his career with New Orleans in a little bit of a sour note, if you will, but he has officially been released. He is officially done. He is off the books, and they are designating him as a post-June 1 cut due to a failed physical, meaning the Saints will take on a dead cap hit of about $11.1 million. They'll have about $1.1 million in savings, so they're going to be paying about $10 million to get him out of here. Beats the hell out of an $119 million cap hit he would have in a few days. To be honest, things haven't panned out for him over the past few seasons. There's been injury issues. There's been off-field drama. There's been all sorts of stuff. Should have never happened. It should never have gone down like this. I know a lot of people aren't Mike Thomas fans anymore, but I choose to remember the good things. I choose to remember the positive stuff that he did and the positive impact he made, not just on the field, but off the field as well in the New Orleans community. But I want you guys to get loud in the comment section. Don't be rude. That's my one question, my one request. Just don't be rude about this. What's your one-word reaction to the Saints moving on from Michael Thomas? He is no longer a New Orleans Saint. He is officially a free agent, meaning he can sign anywhere. I'm going to give you my one-word reaction here in just 1 second. But today's show is presented by PrizePicks. If you go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and you plug in promo code CLNS, you can get a first-time deposit match up to $100. So PrizePicks is so easy. It's so much fun. And you just pick two or more players, choose more or less based on some projected stats, and you can win real money in real time. Now, we do have a really cool NBA projection that I want to tell you guys about because PrizePicks also does these really cool deals. They do like Taco Tuesday. They do stuff for holidays. You see this little green guy? That's a goblin pick. Give me a second. I'll get to that. But James Harden for Pi Day, March 14th, 3.14 points. If he scores 2 baskets, you are winning money. Jalen Suggs, it's a goblin pick, meaning it's a little bit easier to get, lower payout, but whenever you have, a nice little projection like this, it might help you make some extra money. And Jamal Murray, producer Colin and I were going back and forth. We couldn't decide. Do we want to go more or less on 21.5 points? We landed on the left. So if you want to fade my picks, you want to tail my picks, I don't care what you do. Just go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. And if you use that promo code CLNS, PrizePicks will know that we sent you, and it goes a long way in supporting us here at Chat Sports. It's also a really good way to add some money to your pocket. So use the link in the comment section or description of this video to get started, or just type in your browser prizepicks.com/CLNS and use that promo code CLNS. All right, my one word. It was expected. This was always going to happen. This was always the plan for the New Orleans Saints. It was never going to turn into a long-term deal. Unless he went crazy, had really good chemistry with Carr, and, all the other fun stuff. But this was always going to happen. Michael Thomas last year, you knew this was going to be his last season. In 2022, only had 1 touchdown, 11.5 yards per catch. They just couldn't get the connection over the middle between him and Carr. And it stinks. I hate to see it, but it never panned out. With Andy Dalton and Jameis Winston in 2022, only 3 games played. 2 of those touchdowns came with J-Bo in that Week 1 win over the Falcons in Atlanta. That was absolutely electric. That, in my opinion, was one of the last times we got to see Mike Thomas be at his best, but that doesn't mean he wasn't at his best at certain points throughout the season. That is a vivid memory that I have that I will never forget about Mike Thomas. But I also remember that crazy catch that he had against the sideline, on the sideline against the Panthers, where he landed on his butt, and it was crazy kind of thing. 2021 did not play a single game. In 2020, decent season, but nothing compared to that 2019 season where he had 149 catches and over 1,700 yards. Now, currently, the wide receiver depth chart, this is it. This is all you got. You got Chris Olave, A.T. Perry, and Rashid Shaheed. And for the record, I like this unit. I think it's a really solid foundation to a quality, young, cheap, and lethal wide receiver group, to be honest. Chris Olave can get it done in any form or fashion. He can catch the ball. He can track the ball down. He can make some contested catches. He can do a little bit of everything. He is an 1,000-yard receiver through and through. He is productive. He is a bona fide wide receiver one. A.T. Perry climbs the ladder. He's a jump ball specialist. It feels like if you put the ball near him, he's going to make a play. Rashid Shaheed, the freaking speedster. Get him the ball any chance you possibly can. Now, this is it. The Saints will need to add some wide receivers in free agency and in the draft. So this is why I want to encourage you to subscribe. So that way you can be more informed about Saints news, updates, and we also go live. This video was filmed as a part of our NFL Free Agency Frenzy live show. And I was really excited to go live with my producer, Colin. He was really, really awesome today. And if you guys want to tune into more of our content, I encourage you to subscribe, turn on your notifications. That way you never miss a thing and you can be a smarter Saints fan. Now, the Holy Trinity, these are your 3 wide receivers on the depth chart right now. Like I said, Chris Olave, 1,000-yard receiver. He's going to get it done. But the fact that A.T. Perry had over almost 250 yards on 12 catches, meaning a third of his catches were touchdowns. Like 33% of the time A.T. Perry caught the ball, he was scoring 6 points. Like, that is insane to me. He has such good ability. I'm so excited to see him in year 2. And that's coming in, not being utilized all that much most of the season. I do think that the Saints could add another pass catcher. I think that free agency is a route that you could go. I definitely think you should draft one. In terms of some free agent targets, I like Marquise Brown. I don't think Calvin Ridley is headed to New Orleans. I think he's sticking around in Jacksonville, to be honest. But you also have a lot of options and guys who will be cut here in the near future and teams will, move on from. So I think that you can go and get a veteran guy like a Hunter Renfrow, for example. We talked about him a little bit earlier. This is the second video of the day, but this is an easy way, that was all about Hunter Renfrow. This is not about Renfrow. This is about Michael Thomas. But the Saints do need another pass catcher. And now I do want to just go over the facts with you for those of you who may have missed it or who don't remember it. I'm going to get to some draft targets here in just 1 second, but here's the facts. Michael Thomas was integral in bringing in and recruiting Derek Carr to New Orleans. If you remember, after the recruitment was done, Derek Carr spoke so highly about Mike Thomas, and he is excited to get to work. He'll fire anybody up in a room. Mike, he even celebrated on Twitter. He got excited. He was, happy about this move. That is a fact. You can go back and look at the tweets. It is a fact that it was a big part of Derek Carr signing here. When Carr signed, Mike Thomas celebrated, like I just said. Now, the other facts are, fans were disappointed with how Derek Carr played, and there were some passes that led to injuries for some of our players in the wide receiver room. That's a fact. Rashid Shaheed, Michael Thomas, both had some injuries because of not greatly thrown balls. But Jatavion Sanders is a tight end that I think would be a really good addition in New Orleans. He didn't have a single drop in 2023 for the Longhorns. And on top of that, he's a really big-bodied guy that I think can make a really good impact. I also like Brian Thomas Jr. He's a player that can be very dynamic and very effective for the New Orleans Saints if given the opportunity to come stay in Louisiana and be a Saint. Rome Odunze, a big-bodied guy. Like, if you ask me, this could be your Mike Thomas replacement. A big-bodied dude, send him over the middle, send him down the seams, let him cook. Brock Bowers, the Georgia tight end. Y'all know him. Y'all are familiar with him. He's freaking good. And Joshua Cephas, a sneaky talented player out of UTSA. And I also just want to throw 2 more names your way, Xavier Legette and Troy Franklin. I also like both of those options as well. Now, things just didn't work out with Michael Thomas and the New Orleans Saints this year. Ultimately, both sides tried to make it work. They did a new contract. They gave him a new contract, like an entirely new contract last year, to try and make this work, to try and salvage this, to try and keep him around in New Orleans. However, it didn't. And it's been a fun ride with Michael Thomas. I have enjoyed so many Sundays watching Michael Thomas play. Number 13 gave me a lot of really good memories, as a high schooler and as a young college kid watching the Saints. Like, I was so ecstatic watching Sunday football, knowing I'm going to get to see number 13 bring down some catches and go score some touchdowns. But it's over. And it's time for us to all move on. And it's been real and it's been fun. And I wish Mike nothing but the best. Like, I truly do. But he didn't burn a bridge in New Orleans. He absolutely nuked it. Like, the amount of mess he was talking on social media and the amount of and the things that he was saying, like, those are just things that can't be said if you want to keep a relationship, not with just a football team or with an organization, but like with a company you work for, with a boss you have, with whatever. The bridge was nuked. There is no bridge left. Like, the only way I could see a Mike Thomas return is if he does the Jimmy Graham arc where goes away for a while, comes back for one more ride, to end his career in New Orleans. Honestly, I don't see that happening unless Dennis Allen and Derek Carr are out of the picture. But I don't want to make this a negative video. I want to make this a positive video, and I want to show some love to Michael Thomas. So either give me a flex emoji in the chat, that was his thing, can't guard Mike, or give me a 13 in the comment section. Again, I understand that a lot of people have sour thoughts and sour opinion about Mike Thomas, but I just don't want that to be what people are projecting. Keep some of those extremely negative thoughts to yourselves. Like, it's just there's no place for that in my comment section. So show him some love. Wish him luck. Like, you don't even have to say, I love you, Mike, I'll miss you. Just wish him luck, because at the end of the day, don't we want players that we once liked at one time that was dominant for us, that made our franchise quarterback our best player of all time? He was massive in his success. Drew Brees can credit a lot of success to Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas can credit most of his success to Drew Brees. Two things can be true at the same time. So show him some love in the comments section. Now, in terms of some destinations, I do expect Michael Thomas to go to a contender. Now, the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones is busy on a yacht in the Bahamas. He's not making moves. Pretty sure the only move he's made is signing a long snapper, or re-signing his long snapper. Chicago Bears, they lost Darnell Mooney to the Atlanta Falcons. I could see them trying to go get a reliable pass catcher that has been dominant at times. I could see them going and bringing in a veteran guy like Mike Thomas for Caleb Williams, or if they decide to go with Justin Fields, that option as well. Kansas City Chiefs is my personal favorite. I think that they really need a wide receiver, and Mike Thomas with Patrick Mahomes, I mean, come on. That just feels like it's a match made in heaven. And on top of that, the Baltimore Ravens, there is some chatter there. I actually broke the news at the NFL Combine that the Ravens were interested in pursuing Michael Thomas this offseason once he became a free agent, which now that is official. But guys, if you don't want to not if you don't want to subscribe, but if you want more coverage, if you've already subscribed is what I was trying to say, and you want more coverage in between these videos and all throughout the day, all throughout the night, I post on Instagram and Twitter before I post on these YouTube videos. So give me a follow at Trace Girouard 48 on Twitter, Instagram, and if you have TikTok, I'm there as well with the same handle. All my links to get to my social media are in the comment section and description of the video. But guys, Michael Thomas, he is gone. It stinks. I wish it could have worked out better. This is not the way it should have gone. He should have been a Saints legend for life. He should have stuck around forever. He should have won a Super Bowl. He should have, this is not the way that this story should have ended. But you don't always get a fairy tale ending in the NFL. And in real life, you really never do. So it is unfortunate. It is the reality of the world we live in. I wish Mike Thomas nothing but the best. Again, if you have some bad things to say about the player as a man, I don't want to hear it. If you want to criticize his football, whatever. But keep it cool in the comment section. And as always, y'all can't speak. Y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time.